my brothers and sisters, we're going to take a very short pause, and y'all get to meet each other and know each other. I love you guys, and God bless y'all. Thanks for being the world's greatest jazz band. Bang! All right. Red Rodney, right. My man, damn right. I'm like, oh, man, my man. No, when he went down, what he did, he was trying to pass for black with Bird down south, and his name was, they called him what do they call him?
No more red.
Huh? Yeah, what they call him? Albino red.
Yeah, right.
They wanted to really get it, didn't they, boy? They wanted to really have it, didn't they? All right, little red, love you, baby.
I'm the cat who keeps everything together. That's my gig. I'm the host, so as long as the people have a good time, you know, that's the most important thing. You know, that's what it's about. It's about making the people go home. And this is spiritual music. People come here to be healed. You know, they had a bad week, so they come here and listen to this music, and it makes them feel better. That's what I don't call it jazz, because jazz is derogatory. It's short for jackass. You know, the real name of this music is American classical music.
The Note Bookstore is the oldest African-American bookstore in the state of North Carolina and first in the history of Durham, North Carolina. Born in 1981 out of a radio talk show called The Cultural Wedding Seminar. We used to do lectures at the NCCU Student Union and also at St. Joseph Church across the street in front of the present Note Bookstore. And the Note Bookstore has fiction, non-fiction, children's books, cards, incense, oils, and we also have a restaurant. The restaurant is called The Note, and we have shrimp, oysters fillet, trout fillet, white and grilled salmon, fried chicken. We have chopped barbecue. We have barbecue beef ribs, carrot cake, bean pies, and a variety of other things. Every Friday night we have live jazz at the Note restaurant. We cover all aspects of black culture in the Note Bookstore. History, drama, poetry. We have speakers coming in and several other things. So that's why we call it a cultural center, not just a bookstore.
What's missing right now in many black communities is the old school black restaurant that stayed open until 2 and 3 a.m. in the morning, where would-be black politicians and black leaders would sit and discuss ideas. We don't do that anymore. You can't go anywhere here in Durham and find on a nightly basis the leaders and the would-be leaders sitting down and just talking. Now, one could say that talk is cheap, but you know that the world moves on ideas. Before you can put something into action, you have to think about it first. There has to be an idea, and we're not talking enough. And that's one thing that black restaurants, a useful function that they served.
What you're saying is just a lot of racist garbage.
Well, they will say reverse racist. They don't allow us to be plain racist. We have to be different. We're the reverse kind. Now, people will say anything, and even black people will say we will control our mind, our thinking. The point is this, that the person say, I've never read anything hardly. Let us go into the theologian library and see the amount of books they have. How many of these people have gone and traveled? See, what I'm saying, there is no major university and no major library in Europe I have never been to. There's no major library in Asia or Africa I have never been to. I have been to every one of the major tombs and temples of Egypt and got the pictures and read the hieroglyphs and everything like that.
People miss out on a lot of knowledge, you know? A lot of people do a lot, and it's amazing. Like in here, when I come in here and I look at the CDs and stuff like that, just like the chance to hear or see wanted it like Malcolm X, you know, Martin Luther King, Paul Robeson, Marcus Garvey. Like, you only read about them or hear someone talk about them, but you're hearing their voice. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get that everywhere. Like, very, very, very few places. You gotta wonder why, you know? Like, if we can multiply, this is the store that should be a franchise. Like, why not?
People were saying, Bill, you're blaming the victim. Bill says, you need to stop having all these teenage pregnancies. That's true. You need to do well in school. That's true. You need to take advantage of opportunities. That's true. But there's a whole segment that would say to Bill Cosby that you're blaming the victim. The reason that these people are not really doing as well in American society as they ought to do is because there's certain societal forces that stops them from doing so. And a part of that's true, but where do you draw the line? Where do you say there are enough excuses? You need to get out there and do something.
I saw the need and I still see the need, but the problem is the people don't see the need, don't understand the need. Through this.
What's the best way for people to understand it? How do you feel like they should understand?
The way that I think that they have to understand, I don't have the power to do it right now. But if we go back and look at our history, study people like Harriet Tubman, then we'll see how it must be done.
How is it to be done?
Go back to our history and study Harriet Tubman and look at what she did to get many of the slaves from out of the South to go into the North to freedom.
You had to drag them. Some had to be dragged. He who would be free must strike the first blow. And Harriet recognized that. She recognized that she had to strike the first blow. Actually, Frederick Douglass said that.
He said men who profess to favor freedom and yet deprecate agitation are like men who want the crops but don't want to plow the fields. He said men who want the ocean but don't want the roar that accompanies it. You will never get all that you pay for in this world, but you'll certainly pay for all that you get. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never has and it never will. Frederick Douglass.
The first blow. Sometimes it's here. It's all mental. See, a lot of minority people, black people, for example, still have the slave mentality. When you see these brothers on the corner just begging for money, when they have all their help and strength, and don't you wonder sometimes, why is this guy out here doing that? He can go get a job. But sometimes he feels as though that's all he can do. All right?
Know thyself. And that's what the Note Bookstore has always been about, people knowing themselves. Because if you don't know yourself, you won't know anything about anything if you don't know self first. Self-preservation is the first law of nature. And before you can know about Greece and Rome and France and Germany and Finland and Denmark and Sweden and Louis XIV and Queen Victoria, you should know about Imhotep. You should know about Ghana, Mali, Songhai. You should know about African culture and African heritage. But here in America, we put the numerator where the denominator should be and the denominator where the numerator should be. We've been reversed, and we know more about other people than we do about ourselves. So one of the missions at the Note Bookstore is for black people to first know self, and then you can learn about others.
All right, thank you. And a big hand for Brother Yusef Salim. He's our hero. He's our hero. Bless your brother, bless your brother.
People had a good time. People left here with a smile on their faces. That's what's important. That's what's important to me, and that's what's important to everybody who's here, you know. And it gives Brother Yusef, a legend, a chance to play one more time, you know. It's beautiful. Everything went real well.